Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm the Strategy Professor, and today I just wanted to do a really quick update about what's been going on the channel and sort of where it's going in the future. So, as always, if you enjoy the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. Come check out the channel. We're going to be streaming League of Legends every night, starting around 11:30 or midnight Eastern Standard Time, usually going till about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Very friendly, chill community. We'd love to have you. Then we have tons of other content as well, like tier lists, topical guides, just all sorts of stuff for League. We have some Total War Warhammer legendary campaigns, dozens and dozens of those on the channel. And I'm going to start covering Classic WoW. So I'm going to start off talking about the WoW stuff here for maybe 5 minutes. And then basically the TLDRs I'm still going to do as far as Warhammer and League. I'm still going to do Warhammer. I'm sorry there has been a drought in the last month or so. I've had a lot on my plate and trying to transition into also covering World of Warcraft is just taking up a lot of time to juggle all of these things. But I think I've got it in a spot where I'm going to be able to release one episode a day of the Warhammer in addition to the rest of the stuff going on. So sorry about the drought, but I've got the kind of time management and scheduling down. And I'm still going to release that content. So there will be some fresh campaigns. I am going to do the new Dark Elf guy or gal, whoever the Lord was that was released. I'm going to research that and do that. Probably start releasing episodes this week. And I know there have been a couple of other people that have emailed me interested in some other campaigns. So I'm definitely going to do that. And then when Warhammer 3 comes out, I'm going to have a ton of content about that. I just haven't talked about that too much because I don't know a ton about the lore, and that's really all there is to talk about right now is the lore. Like, we do know some stuff about the factions, but we don't have any units, we don't have any numbers. So once we get more information about that, then I will definitely cover that a ton as well. And then League is still going to remain a priority, right? So I'm still going to do tier lists for every patch. I'm still going to do, patch notes analysis. We're still going to be streaming it every night, for at least 2 or 3 hours, sometimes more than that. So it's still going to be lots and lots of content for League. So if you're here for League, you love League, definitely keep coming because the League is going to stay the same. So all we're doing is just adding in a little bit of extra WoW content here. Okay, so for WoW, we are making a guild for Burning Crusade. We already have one set up in Classic for people that want to level up with us or just come hang out. My main impetus for this was Jason and just some of his friends were playing, and they, were talking me into wanting to play too. Now, as kind of the events have unfolded, I'm not sure if they're gonna end up playing with us or not. We'll see. We are gonna be Alliance. They ended up deciding to go Horde. So we'll see where that goes. But I did decide to play. It is fun. There are a lot of people on the channel that also express an interest in doing that. So we've made a guild on Alliance on the Heartseeker US East server. The guild name is Dift and Mift. You can contact me in-game, Abraxas, and I'll give you an invite to the guild. Or you can contact Black Falcon from the channel. So his in-game name is either Beowulf on the champion he's leveling, or his level 60 is Beowulf. So just look for those names. And then he's also Beowulf on Discord, and you can contact him there if you want. And if you see him in the chat on YouTube, it's Black Falcon on YouTube. So he's kind of helping me manage a bunch of the stuff with the guild. I'm still making a lot of the higher order decisions, and it's going to have the same kind of, strategy professor vibe as the normal channel as far as like being analytical, but being a very chill, non-toxic place where people can come hang out and have fun. And that's another thing as well, that League is really cool, and I'm still going to cover League, and it's great, but it is difficult to kind of build up a community and to have a lot of community interaction with League. So we've tried to do like viewers nights, and those were okay, like those were fun, but it was still kind of difficult for community building just because you can only, have 5 people in at a time unless we do viewer versus viewer, which let us have 10 people playing at a time. But that just had its own problems in terms of balance and things like that, because there's just such a widespread of sort of rankings and interests, and most people were off-role. They didn't get to play their main role and stuff like that. So League is great. We do have a great community on the channel, but it is also sort of difficult in the game to build up that community. And that's another thing with WoW, is that we can build that community. People can come in and chat and just kind of have some fun and hang out. And you get a lot more of that sort of social interaction, I think, a lot of time. Even when I'm off stream, that's another thing, is when I'm not streaming, it was hard to keep the community together a lot of times. Like, we do have a Discord, and I'll mention that here in a second, but just a lot of people weren't getting together and playing and dueling with each other, again because there's this huge ranking disparity between a lot of people. Versus in World of Warcraft, even when I'm not streaming, people can get on, they can help each other out with different things, they can hang out and chat. I think it's a lot better for just, once again, building up that community. And hopefully this will revive the Discord as well. So even if you don't plan on playing World of Warcraft, hopefully we can get more people, you know, sharing some funny memes or some jokes, you know, on the Discord. And then even if you play League, you're not going to play WoW, you can still come in and, you know, hopefully get more of a sense of that revitalized kind of social environment if people are, you know, typing and hanging out on the Discord client, which I hope will happen more often. So anyways, I hope this will be really good for kind of the social aspect of the channel. So that's where we're going with it. So just let me know if you have any questions about that. You can email me or just talk with me on the stream if you're interested or you kind of want to know what's going on. But that's the basic gist of it. And we are offering for people that want to join. Now, we'll see how many people join or want to join. So there might be a limit. If I'm going to go bankrupt, I might have to reduce or remove this incentive. But for now, Black Falcon is splitting the cost with me. And we are offering 10 gold and 4 10-slot bags for new players. So just kind of just a nice starter kit. You come to the server. I know some people might be moving over from Horde, or maybe they don't want to, you know, pay to transfer their character over if they have an Alliance character. And that's fine. Or maybe you're just new to the game, you never played it, you want to start off at level 1. I think that'll help out a ton in terms of just getting you on your feet, giving you some bag supplies, allowing you to buy, you know, 1 or 2 greens while you're leveling up, just to help you with your progression a little bit, buy your skills, your flight pass, because money can be very tight early on in the game. So we're doing that to try to help you out, to give you a good start on the leveling. And then we're going to focus on progression rating. So there will definitely be people interested in Arena and doing PvP and, you know, stuff like that. And I'm going to be doing some PvP. But, you know, the main focus as far as like the end game is going to be on the raids. So we are going to be progression minded. We do want to make progress. We do want to clear all the content eventually. So that is going to have some restrictions on it. We'll talk about that as we come in there. So, you know, we need people that are, you know, going to be able to show up and put up the numbers and, you know, make sure that we're getting through the stuff. But we're not going to be as hardcore as a hardcore guild, right? We're going to be a little bit more diplomatic about stuff. You know, we're going to do the best that we can to create the best experience possible for people. You know, it's not going to be like a drill camp, you know, all those horror stories from raiding and people just being just not good leaders, in my opinion. So, you know, we're going to be as chill as we can be in terms of the atmosphere, but we also want to get the bosses down, right? And I'll talk about this more in an additional video. I don't want to go too long on this, but my thought is, you know, we can have some, you know, comps that aren't necessarily the most competitive out there. So if we have, for example, several people that want to play DPS Rogue or DPS Warrior, a lot of the hardcore guilds may not bring any rogues because they want complete min-max there. I think we can be a little bit more flexible, but at the same time, there are limits to that, right? We can't bring, you know, 20 rogues to a raid, right? So there are limits. So we're going to try to be as flexible as we can to help people out, especially people that have the right kind of attitude and have really good attendance in the raids, and they're doing the best they can to help improve their character. You know, people like that, we can definitely bend a little bit on the composition. So, you know, it doesn't have to 100% be whatever the meta is. We're not going to make everyone go leatherworking for drums and, you know, all of that stuff. We will allow some flexibility. But at the same time, you know, if you're interested in raiding, and you don't have to be, there's lots of stuff that you can do without raiding. If you don't have the time, you can still come in and socialize. We're going to help people run dungeons. You can do battlegrounds with people. We can maybe have a battleground night or something like that. Like, we'll have lots of other activities that will be fun if you don't want to raid, right? So definitely join if you just want to hang out. But if you do want to raid, you know, there will be some expectations for that, right? So we will expect you to show up to a lot of the content on time, relatively on time, right? If it's like a few minutes every now and then late, that's fine. But, you know, we might be a little tight on the timing of some of these raids to make sure we get stuff cleared. So, you know, we want to make sure that we're getting in there, we're getting a lot of looks at these bosses. So arriving on time to 90%. So, if you have to miss once a month or something like that for family stuff or whatever, we can find replacements. But if you're constantly missing, it makes it difficult for us, because then we're going to have to bring in, not necessarily a replacement, but a substitute person is the word I'm looking for. And then if that substitute person is just showing up a lot more and they're more consistent, we might have to end up giving them the slot and then bring you in as a sub whenever we can. So, that's always, there's not going to be a great answer to those situations. So we're just going to have to play it by ear. But you need to be competitive, right? You need to be putting up the good numbers, because the problem is, and that also means bringing appropriate consumables, having a flask, using potions, using food, all those kind of things. And yes, that does take some time to farm, right? I'm going to be a healer, right? I'm going to be a holy priest, so I don't have a hard farm character either. And I am very pressed for time also, with all kinds of stuff on the channel and family and teaching at the university. So I can totally respect it does take a little bit of grinding to get the gold, but that's what has to be done in order to make that progress, right? Because if 75% of the people are coming in with consumables and they're doing the best they can to get the best gear they can, and to be as productive as possible in the raid, and then another 25% is coming in and they're just not doing all those things, it's not really fair to the people that are coming in prepared, that are trying to do the best that they can, right? So it's basically handicapping the raid and forcing other people to cover up for you, right? Forcing them to overperform, forcing them to min-max even more to make up for the fact that, that 25% may not be as competitive, right? So once again, there are limits. I'm not saying that you have to, everybody has to leather work, everybody has to re-roll enchanting and level it up to max and put the enchants on the rings and then drop that and go do something else. It's not going to be that same kind of craziness, but it's also going to have, some restrictions to it, right? So, we'll help you out. We can get people together and you can run with groups to help farm different things. And, there will be stuff that we can do to try to help you out. But that is something that, has to be done. But we can talk about that. We can negotiate that. But that's just the expectation, is that we will be working towards progression. And if that's not something that you can do, that's fine. We can have somebody else substitute in and you can just chill and, hang out with us a little bit more on a casual basis. So anyways, we'll play it by ear, but that's always something that's going to be a little tricky for people. On that note, also, we're working on a loot system, but it's likely going to be some combination of a gear priority system, and I'll explain this more once we kind of get finalized about it. Loot council and a DKP system, which is kind of like you show up to raids and you get a currency, basically an in-guild currency that you can use to buy certain loot. So it's people who are showing up, killing bosses a lot, might have a little bit more priority on the loot than someone who just shows up every now and then. But that is shaky as well, because I do want people that are coming in as substitutes occasionally. If a boss drops and it has gear that they like, I want them to have a chance to get that gear. Or if we have to pull in a pug or something like that, if we can't find a replacement, we've only got 24 people that night and we have to pull somebody in from one of the capital cities, I want to give that person a chance to get some loot too, because they're showing up, they're helping take down bosses. So it's going to be tricky, but we'll come up with something that's fair, and I'm open to feedback about that kind of stuff too. So I'll talk a lot more about that and loot and gear and stuff like that in a later video. And the raid time we're thinking about is probably, 2 or 3 nights, 2 or 3 nights a week, from probably around 3 hours, sometime between 8 and 12. When I raided BC back in the day, my guild, when we were doing progress, it was taking, I think we were doing 4 nights of 3. So I'm hoping that with better knowledge, good attendance and good commitment and stuff like that, that we can get it done in less, but we'll just have to see. So once again, that's up in the air, but that's what we're thinking about. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. So I don't want the video to be too long, but that's what it is. I'll put, as usual, I give it the TSP touch, right? We'll put a lot of thought into it. We'll be fair. We'll be welcoming, non-toxic guild, very chill. And, hopefully y'all can trust me from the channel that I will try to manage this and be as fair as possible. And if anyone wants to help me, if you have some good ideas, if you have some experience managing a guild, or you've been in a guild that had a really good system that worked for you, I'm definitely all ears. We're looking for officers or just other people that help. Black Falcon's chipping in a lot. in terms of helping stuff out. But anyone that wants to help out, that would be fantastic, right? Because like I said, I have a ton on my plate. I'm doing this to try to hook everybody up and create a good, kind of fun, chill, social atmosphere that I think will enhance the channel overall. But yeah, I'm definitely would love help. Anyone that wants to chip in and help out there. So anyways, that's going to be it. And like I said before, it's not like we're dropping everything and doing WoW. We're going to do some WoW. It's not going to interfere with League. Once I get all my timing set up, it's not going to interfere with League. It's not going to interfere with Total War. We're still going to do that. But I think it'll just be more social stuff. With the Discord, you can come in and talk with it. There's a chance I will be streaming a bit more, so you can drop by and talk about that. And even if we're doing something in Classic WoW, you can still talk about League or talk about Total War stuff, and I'm more than happy to help you out with that. But anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you very much. Just message me or Black Falcon on the server if you're interested or if you want more information, or just talk with me on stream about it, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Otherwise, that's going to be it. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.